You spend hours studying. You read your notes. You highlight everything. But when the exam starts, your mind goes blank. Sounds familiar, right? You're not alone. Most students make the same mistake. They study harder, not smarter. But what if I told you there's a simple, science-backed technique that can help you remember twice as much in half the time? It's called active recall. And today, I'll show you how it works, step by step. Here's the problem. Most students think studying means reading notes again and again. You feel productive. But what's really happening is called passive learning. Your brain isn't working hard enough to store information deeply. It's just recognizing words on the page, not truly remembering them. That's why you forget everything a few days later. So, the key isn't how long you study. It's how you train your brain to recall. Our brains are like muscles. If you want to make them stronger, you need to give them resistance. Every time you struggle to remember something, you're actually strengthening the connections between brain cells. Scientists call this process retrieval practice. In one famous study, students who used active recall remembered 80% more than students who just reread notes. That's not luck. That's neuroscience. So what exactly is active recall? It's the opposite of rereading. Instead of feeding information into your brain, you pull it out. You ask yourself questions. You test yourself. You make your brain do the hard work of remembering. That's what makes the memory stick. All right, let's make this practical. Here's how to use active recall the right way. Step 1. Read a small section. Not a whole chapter, just one concept. Step 2. Close your book. Now, without looking, try to explain what you just learned. Out loud. Or write it down. You might get some parts wrong. That's fine. It means your brain is learning. Step 3. Check your notes. See what you missed and review those parts again. Step 4. Do it again later. Repeat the recall every few days. That's called spaced repetition. Together, these two, active recall and spaced repetition, are like the cheat codes of learning. You can use apps like Anki, Quizlet, or just paper flashcards. The tool doesn't matter. The process does. Let's say you're studying biology. You read about the process of photosynthesis. Instead of rereading the paragraph, close your book and ask yourself, what are the main steps of photosynthesis? Try to explain it, like teaching a friend. Then, open your book and check how close you were. That's one active recall session. Simple, but powerful. And you can reviding why this technique is so powerful. Each time you recall something, your brain says, hey, this information must be important. So it builds stronger neural pathways. But when you only reread, your brain stays lazy. It never practices pulling information out, the exact thing you need during exams. So when the test comes, you've trained for recognition, not recall. That's why everything disappears. Active recall fixes that. You can make active recall even more effective by combining it with other study habits. Use the Pomodoro technique. 25 minutes of focused study, 5 minutes break. After each session, recall what you've learned. Use the Feynman technique. Explain the concept as if teaching a child. If you can't explain it simply, you don't really understand it yet. Mix subjects. Don't just study one topic for hours. That's called interleaving, and it trains your brain to switch faster. Students who use active recall regularly report higher grades, faster study sessions, and less exam stress. It doesn't take extra time. It just takes smarter effort. So next time you sit down to study, don't just read your notes. Close the book. Ask yourself a question. Challenge your memory. That's how you'll study faster and remember longer. If you found this helpful, share it with a friend who still highlights everything. Let's help more students learn smarter, not harder. And remember, you don't need a perfect memory. You just need to train it.